Good evening, dear friends. So, everyone is concerned about the question why some people are slouching and the others aren't. Those who want to stop slouching, they try to do something like straighten out, but they can't do it at all. It seems to us that to stop being like this, you need to straighten up somewhere here. And every hunchbacked person wants to straighten their back. They constantly want to stretch their back. They constantly have a desire for something to crack here in the back. It seems that something there is not moving enough. A person whose shoulder blade is where it should be does not have such feelings. They do not experience such problems. What is their difference? Why does one person's shoulder blade is here and another person has it there? Why did the shoulder blade take such a position and does not want to go to another position? We all do certain movements during the day. We make hand movements, thousands of them. If you're interested in this, try to count during the day how many movements you make with your hands. Where you pull something, take something. If you have free time, got nothing to do, try to count it. Write the results in the comments. We will appreciate it. We are busy people. We don't have time to count how much we move our hands. Well, we do it a lot. Here, for example, there is an object lying, right? Here it is. It's lying right here. I take it. I take it and look. And my shoulder blade goes forward like this. It goes like that. It's moving forward too much. And if each one of my movements is like this, it starts to move forward, right? In the end, it stays in this position. Here it is. All right, it stays like this, in the upward position, right? But after some time, here the neck muscles can't hold it anymore. And the weight of the hand pulls the shoulder blade down. And it ends up too forward and too down. And my hands hang like this. They start hanging forward from my body. Elbows are turning like this too. And here I constantly feel the weight of my hands. My back feels overloaded. I constantly want to straighten my back, but then it just gets tired again. It starts to bend me forward like this. The head changes its position as well. Why does this happen? Why, when I make a forward movement here, with my hand, my shoulder blade goes forward with my hand, and it changes its position? Here, if you draw a line between the shoulder blade and the collarbone, ideally it should be parallel to the floor. The more it shifts, turns into such a line, the worse it is. That is, the shoulder blade begins to slightly rise, pulling upwards, and the collarbone, it slightly shifts down. This movement is therefore made by the muscles that lift the shoulder blade. That is, it lifts the shoulder blade and leaves it up there, both when necessary and when not. Such a position remains. This then interferes with the work of the widest muscles, the lower trapezius, all those muscles that hold this shoulder blade down. And there arises a restriction in mobility right here in this part of the chest. What makes a person do this? Why it shifts forward so much? It often even shifts more forward on the working hand than on the opposite side. All this happens because there is not enough mobility of the spine. When a person is pulling forward, his spine also participates in this turn. Meanwhile, the head remains straight. That is, his movement occurs simultaneously practically in the entire spine, starting from the lumbar, ending with the neck. Because the head here doesn't shift like this, right? It remains straight and the hand turns like that. So it turned me relative to the pelvis. Those who don't have this movement developed, who have their mobility limited, experience the shoulder blade shift. So a person like that replaces this turn, the missing movement of the spine, with an excessive movement of the shoulder blade. The main thing, how to fix all this? To fix this first, if this mobility has been absent for a long time, it needs to be developed by slightly lengthening these muscles. The oblique muscle of the abdomen, the quadratus lumborum muscle. How to do this? For this, we take a chair with a backrest. We should sit on it not as usual but sideways. Sit down like this. And now start turning. Put your hands on the back of the chair. If you have not had this movement for a long time, the turn is limited. Then it will be difficult for you to do it. So you start to help yourself with your hands. You turn back like this. Here, this leg, it will press against the back of the chair. Try not to press with this leg. Slightly remove it here to the side so that your thigh does not press here on the back of the chair. You slightly press it to the other thigh. Or squeeze some object between your knees, that's even better. And here you start to make a turn, helping yourself a little with your hand. That's how you turn around. And now, from this position, turn your head like this. That is, you need to learn to be in this position so that then your hand goes forward normally. So that you get used to the fact that your body can turn, and your head, meanwhile, does not turn. And in this position, you hold yourself with your hands. Some will find it hard to breathe at first because the chest is not used to being constricted like this. And then try to remove one hand, holding the chair with just one hand. After that, remove the second hand as well. And just sit in this position for a while, holding it. Then try to turn a little more, keeping your head straight again, and also sit in this position for a while. In general, this is the first exercise. Start with the fact that you are developing mobility in both sides. Whichever side feels worse, focus more on that. If, for example, your dominant hand is the right one, this turn is more important to you. In this direction, that is, pay more attention to it. If it's not good, then the shoulder blade starts to work harder. That is, the right hand does more movement in the right-handed people. And the second exercise. In order to learn how to turn the body relative to the pelvis, you take an object, put it here, on the sacrum. The sacrum is located here. Put it on this spot, so that the pelvis moves during this exercise. So you do it like this. And you start doing this same thing. That is, you turn, turn, and turn. And you try to reach this object with that hand that's behind you. Turn like this. When you reach it, stay like this for a while. Do this movement on both sides. The main thing is that you have to try to make the movement by using that hand that goes in the back. That is, you try to turn around mostly using this hand. At the start, you can do it along with turning your head, but then you learn to make this movement without turning your head. From one side to the other, from one side to the other. A similar movement can also occur in the step. That is, you need to learn very well how to do it. During this exercise, your pelvis will be fixed, but your legs may start to move like this. Your knees may move from one side to the other like this, so you can squeeze something between your knees. Any object, the bigger the better. You put it here, like this. 1, you put it here. 2, you do the exercise in this position. Turn to one side, then the other. You may even notice that when you fix your knees, the rotation itself will become easier. So, you need to learn to do this movement well. And after that, after you've learned to do it, you can use it when you're reaching for something with your hands. That is, you will already have such a rotation of the body. Your shoulder blade won't go forward like this. Instead, you'll make a turn like this. So you will be able to grab objects freely. That is, this shoulder blade movement will become much less due to the fact that the second shoulder blade will be able to go back more freely.